Welcome to Two Cackling Witches. I'm Jenica.
And I am Cam. How are you today?
I'm good, darling. How are you?
I'm so good. I'm so good. It's been a great week, been a great day. And I'm here with you, and we're recording, and we're talking about our favorite topic. So
What is
I'm
our
doing
favorite
fantastic.
topic, Cam? What is our favorite topic?
Candle magic. Whoop whoop.
Whoop! Only our favorite thing of all time. And we always do
Yes.
every time you come down to visit me in Ontario. Cam,
Absolutely. Yep.
you are the queen of wax. I know that you have a specific wax that you love, but
Yep.
can you tell me a little bit about wax actually before I dive into the protection spell that we're going to do today with Candle Magic?
Absolutely. So there are more than like three different types of waxes, but the ones that I'm more familiar with is of course beeswax because I actually work with beeswax myself.
Right. Me too.
Yeah, and I find it's the most beautiful wax in my personal opinion because it's such a hard wax and it burns for so long. It also
Mm-hmm.
clarifies the air and removes impurities in your house. So
Wow.
I've even tried it when I was like cooking fish or something, and you know how the fish smell stays?
Right.
Um, you start you start a candle, you light a candle, and the smell kind of goes away within like 15 minutes, depending on how clean your wax is. So
Wow.
that's my favorite type of wax. Yeah. There's also soy, which is a wax that's a little bit softer. It's a little bit safer for people that are afraid of fire. I would recommend soy wax.
It's a good
Um,
starter. Mm-hmm.
it is a good starter because it's a soft wax, so there's less it's less flame inducing in my opinion.
Oh,
And then there's regular wax, which I use a lot in my witchcraft. If I want to light a candle just for ambiance, I'll light a beeswax candle. But if I'm actually
right.
doing a spell,
Mm-hmm.
I'll do the regular wax just because I think there's so many options for colors, there's so many options
Totally.
for how big a pillar or anything like that. But
Mm-hmm.
those are the type of waxes that I'm familiar with. So,
Yeah. And also with the pillars, like you can get them anywhere. You could go to any witchy store or spiritual store and you can get them for a couple
absolutely.
dollars, like the small ones, if you just, or you can get a big one. You can get them at the dollar store, Dollarama, Dollar Tree, or
Mhm.
even Value Village as long as they haven't been burnt already, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Very
All
affordable.
right. So, yeah. Are you ready to go into your topic?
Yes, I'm so excited.
Okay, perfect. Let's dive into this.
Okay, so fire. Gosh, I love it. And like I'm excited that I'm doing the ritual part for this episode today. As you mentioned, the direction is south.
Yeah.
But there is a saying with fire and it is to dare. Because, fire is daring. Do you dare light me? I am dangerous, but I'm also beautiful. So how are we going to work together?
Mm,
Candle Magic is one of my favorite things to do. Actually, anytime I do a spell, I always invoke a flame. I think you're the same, are you not?
absolutely. I've never done a spell that didn't have a flame. So
Yeah.
I feel the same way. Absolutely.
And I'm going to kind of go through a protection spell today. However, I'm going to start from the very beginning. And first, I'm going to talk about safety. Honestly, guys, safety makes me like horny. I love safety.
Doesn't take a
when
lot,
I,
apparently.
oh yeah, it doesn't take a lot. I like safe,
Yeah.
I work in the school system and like, I love safety. I really do. Safety goes a long way. So if
Mm,
you're going to do candle magic or you're going to invoke a flame, please make sure that you have water. Especially if you're going to start a spell, you need to have some water like by you. Okay. And also, the very first thing I did when I started Candle Magic, I actually went onto Amazon and bought a fire extinguisher. And it's always in my spiritual room and it's
Smart.
always by my altar because just in case.
Never
And
know.
another rule that I have a really big home. So my rule is I never have more than 3 candles lit at a time. And every single time I put out a flame, I snuff it. Okay. And then I always make sound, whether it's clapping my hands for respect, but also getting rid of any kind of negativity or any spirits that maybe came by. I always snap my fingers, or my favorite is a bell. I always ring a bell when I've extinguished fire. And that actually sends a message to anyone in the home, especially my husband. I live with my husband. If he's heard a bell, he knows that the candle's out. But if I had lit a candle, and I'm going to be honest, I've forgotten about candles. Okay, like I'm just
You're
keeping it real
human.
because I'm a
Like,
human.
yeah, yeah.
Like it happens, right? My husband will come to me like, I didn't hear the bell. You know what I mean? And so
Oh, that's
yeah. So
awesome.
it's actually kind of a signal. And so if you have like children or whatever and you start getting them used to ringing a bell after, then the people in the home know that it's been out. And I always tell Jean-Francois, my husband, when I've lit a candle, just in case, because you just don't want to
You
forget.
don't know.
Um, no, it's not worth it. And also, you know what? You have to respect the fire. Like these are the criteria of what fire needs. And always do it respectfully. So I'm done my rant.
I
Safety first.
unfortunately only have Chloe, who is a dog, that lives with
Right.
me, and Sam, who's a cat that lives with me. So I have to be always aware when I light a candle because no one's going to tell me. But I live in an apartment.
True.
So, like, when I turn off lights, I can see the candle light still on when I go to bed. So at
True.
least that's how I check for me. So,
You should get a bell because you'll be like, did I ring the bell? I'm telling you, it's some sort of a weird thing with your brain, but it
oh no, I
works.
have 2
It
bells.
really
I have 2
works.
bells from my grandma.
You do have
My
bells. That's right. Oh my
yeah,
gosh. And there's like
my grandma had a
sentimental.
huge bell
Yeah.
collection because whenever she went to all different countries, she would get 2 things. She would get a bell and she would get a Christmas ornament from that country. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So
Yeah, I
she
know.
loves Christmas. Oh my
Well,
gosh, I
she's
love that.
passed.
That's
She has
so
to
cute.
pass, but yes, I know.
Right. Aw.
Yeah, so I got bells from my grandma.
Um, I love that. Okay. Well, your grandma's telling you to be safe. Okay.
Mhm.
She knew what was going on.
Mhm.
So, this particular spell that I'm going to help you with today is going to be protection. And this protection can either be like, protection from the evil eye, or, protect your loved ones, protecting your energy, protecting your home, protecting your family, protecting your fur babies, like whatever it is that you want to protect your heart, protect your love, like whatever that is, you can use protection for it's protection. You can use it for anything
It's
you want.
protection.
So, right, protection. So what you first want to do is have all your safety in place. And then you're going to get the materials that you have, whether it's like the candle, the herbs, um, the oil, and you're just going to sage it, smoke it, use an incense, or you can even use a bell. You can use sound bowls, maracas, like anything you want, tambourine, any kind of way that you think cleansing will work on all the tools that you're going to use. And then from there, you're going to grab a candle. I typically, if I was going to do a protection spell, I would use purple or black
I was gonna say
or
black.
white.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
it depends on what kind of like vibe you want. However, guys, white candle can be substituted for any
Yeah.
color, right?
Like if you're missing because I have all the colors of all the candles just because I work so much with Candle Magic. But I know some people, if like you just have a tea light that's white, most tea lights are white. Just use that if that's all you have. Uh, it
Yep.
can be substitute. It's kind of like clear quartz where you can kind of use it for everything. So when in doubt, use
So
white.
true. It is the clear quartz of the candles. You're not wrong. I love that.
Hey.
Um, just a little blurb about colors. I won't go too into it, but for example, black. Black is really good for banishing, protecting, also getting rid of breaking curses, warding off evil eyes, psychic protection, and return to sender spells. Okay.
Hmm.
And then you have white, which we just talked about literally is the clear quartz of
Yep.
candles. I love that. It also brings like peace, protection, all purpose, cleansing, truth, divine connection. And then you also have red, and red is for courage, passion, energy, protection, fire spells, setting boundaries, also helping with that root chakra. And it's also great if you want to do sex magic. Then you have purple, and purple is about spiritual power, intuition, wisdom, psychic shielding, spiritual protection, connection to ancestors, and dream work.
Wow.
Then green. Green is going to be also, sorry, purple is also good for the crown chakra. Okay. And then green is great for the heart chakra. It's also great for health, growth, abundance, healing, protection of home, heart, nature magic, protection of loved ones, prosperity, great for money spells.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Yellow or gold, that's also going to be related to the sun energy as well. So it's going to be like that positive, inspirational kind of like inner self worth. It's going to be your solar plex chakra. So success, clarity, focus, joy, protection, mind, spirit, mental strength, overcoming anxiety, and solar energy magic. And then gray. I love gray. I love playing in the gray. Gray is
Really?
like my favorite
I've
domain.
never worked with gray candles. I don't even think I have one. That's
Oh,
interesting.
oh yeah.
Huh.
I mean, okay, gray is also like silver, so that's also moon
Okay.
energy. So if you want to give a
Right.
nice candle to Hecate, I mean, she also loves black too. I think she'd go for purple as well, but she loves a good silver. You know what I
I have
mean? And
silver. I
silver
have
also could
silver.
be
Yeah.
coin too. Okay, it's time to
Yeah.
work with one girl.
Yeah.
So it's neutrality, it's balance, it's invincibility, it's cloaking, protection without being noticed, and staying hidden from harm.
Oh, so a little bit like protection. It's just the lighter version of the black, which is also gray's lighter version than black, and it's a lighter version of
And
protection.
also
I
like white
love
too.
that. Wow. Yep.
Yeah. And it's also kind of like hiding in plain sight, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just saying. Um, and then you have blue, and blue is going to be that throat chakra. So if you're having a hard time
Yeah.
communicating with someone, or even just communicating in general, or if you're a vocalist and you want to do really good on a performance or public speaking, light a blue candle, my friends. So this is peace, calm, emotional healing, communication, protection, and emotional healing and peace in the home. And the last one is brown. And brown is also great for grounding energy, okay?
Hmm.
And it's stability, protection of pets, property, rooting energy, animal magic, and land blessings.
Oh, I
Kind of
want to
cool,
work
eh?
with Brown because I want to talk to
You need to
Chloe.
work with
I
the
really
land?
wish. I know. I just really wish I could talk to Chloe. You know how there's like on TikTok or on
Yes.
like YouTube, there's those animal psychics and they tell you how like the animal actually feels within your home and for certain things you do. And I just wish that I could have that kind of open communication with Chloe. Not that I think she's going to speak English in my
I think
mind.
you do. I'm like, you're saying this, and I'm like, Cam, you understand your dog, and your dog understands you. You could be that
I know
person.
we are connected very weirdly. I went to a market on Sunday
Right.
and I brought
Hmm.
Chloe and the lady was like, "You guys are connected like I've never seen before." And I'm like, "Oh, and I just met
Aw.
you." So that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're a witch, of course.
Yeah.
That makes sense. We love animals, guys.
We
Animals,
do.
we
Yeah.
we don't have any children. We just have animals. So
Just animals. They're
yeah,
my
we
children.
we love we love fur babies.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've cleansed the space, we have safety, we know that we're going to use a candle. The next step that I invite you to do is to have an oil. Um, for this protection spell, I would put cloves in the oil. I also would do star anise. I would also put a
Okay.
little bit of salt and pepper. Pepper is so great for any kind of like banishing or any
Hmm.
kind of spell. I always crack a little bit of pepper to get rid of the evil eye. Um, so cloves are known to be protective and purifying, and they ward off evil energy, and they also give you a sense of protection. Also, if you put like 7 cloves in your wallet, it brings money, and it
I did not
also
know
like
that.
yeah, it brings
Oh,
money and it
okay.
also helps you speak. Okay. So like that's kind of cool. And then star anise, it's great for enhancing your psychic protection and increasing spiritual awareness. And it's also known to bring good luck. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I also thought lavender could be nice. Lavender just calms things, right? It's like a calming thing. So it adds a layer of peace and tranquility. And then the black pepper, as I mentioned before, it's going to ward off that evil eye. It also in like different herbs have different spiritual meanings, and one
Yep.
of the properties is fire. It brings fire to your spell work. So there you go. It's that fiery element. And it also like banishes any negative energy and unwanted attention. And then salt is going to be like the purifying energy, its grounding properties, and it helps cleanse protective boundaries. However, I have to say I'm quite hesitant in using salt in my magical practices because I do have so many animals and salt is
Yeah.
really dangerous. So I do substitute salt for actually eggshells.
Right. You did tell me that once. Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. Because when you think of an egg, it's
Yeah.
this beautiful thing of protection, right? Like it protects this really
Absolutely.
like soft thing inside, and then you can dry them out, and then you crack them, and they're so nice if you like roll them on a candle. They're like chunky and cute. So whatever you feel comfortable with, or if you do want to use salt, you are inspired to use salt, you can do it, but like make sure your candle's up high. Okay, guys? I don't want any animals getting hurt in this process. So if you want to make this oil, with Candle Magic, I suggest that um, you can marinate this oil. You can use just like a normal olive oil. Okay. You don't have to do anything fancy, or you can use a coconut oil. Both of these are okay and safe to use. And you could just, put in a little container and infuse it overnight. And then you can dress your candle, whatever candle you chose. But before you put anything on your candle, you should always like inscribe it with something. What do you
Yeah.
usually inscribe? What do you
So,
do, Cam?
for me, I always put my name. Always the first
Yeah.
thing I do, put my name because in this case, I'm protecting myself. So I inscribe my name, and then I'm really into runes, and I look at the different runes and I inscribe them in the candle to see what I feel like I need. Like, for example, this isn't a rune, but if I'm doing a love spell, and when I say love spell, I mean specifically love to myself. It's
Inner
always
love.
like a pink inner love. It's pink to myself. And I put my name and I put little hearts. I always put 3. My lucky number is 3 personally. So,
Okay, I didn't
um,
know that.
yeah. So I always put like 3 because I know that it's going to work. So that's why when I say a spell,
Cool.
I usually say it 3 times. Yeah. It's always been my lucky number. Yeah.
Wow. It's
Yeah.
so interesting that you put your name and put a heart. I always put a heart regardless of what kind of spell I'm doing,
Yeah.
whether it's like a return to sender or it's like, a health spell, an abundance spell, a
Exactly.
protection spell. I always put a heart because my thought process is I just put one heart. I'm not as cool as you. I always put one heart. And my thought process is I'm always coming from love and my highest good because I don't believe
Exactly.
in doing harm to others.
No. Okay. So, yes, so I just want to make sure that everybody knows that we come from a place of love. We do not come to for harm or to harm anybody. I know that that's a common misconception in the world of today.
True.
There's a lot of fear surrounding this, but we're not sacrificing people and animals. That is not what we are, and that is not what any of this is, you know?
Yeah. We don't have like puppets and like say someone's name and stab it a million times with a safety pin. We don't do that.
No.
Not in this lifetime.
Maybe when I was like, burn out the stake in the 1600s.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Um, and I personally, when I do spells, I love to have music playing, and it will depend on what it is that I'm like feeling in that time. It could be like an album that I love that like pumps me up or that makes me feel beautiful. Sometimes it could even be something as simple if it's in the winter months and I want to feel like that spring and new beginning, and I'll play like songs of like birds singing. Like it
Mhm.
really can vary. It can be like sound bowls or like your favorite artist. It could be jazz. It could be rock. It could be heavy metal. Whatever it is that like pumps you up, like set an ambiance, make yourself feel
Yeah.
good and comfortable. Also make sure that you have a lot of intention. Know what it is that you want before you go into it. I usually feel it kind of like bubbling inside of me of like, something's about to come, like I can probably tell you every time that you've done a spell, you've talked to me before being like, I think I need to do a spell. Like I feel
Yeah.
it coming.
Yeah.
Right?
There's some big ones that I've done that I've thought about it for months and months prior to doing it. Um, like my last big one was a cord cutting spell. And
Right.
how long had we talked about me doing that spell for? Maybe a year?
Yeah.
Before I finally did it. When I was finally ready, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was intense. That one was an intense
Yeah.
one.
Cord cutting is
But
a hard one because you're literally
yeah,
letting go of. So
you are
typically spells
yeah.
aren't going to take you that long. It might be like a day or two before, but a cord cutting spell is
Yeah.
you really have to mean it, right? You really have to
Mhm.
be able to prepare yourself energetically to say goodbye because you are literally cutting the cord. So that makes sense. But you
Yeah,
prepared for it for a long time and you had
I did.
conversations with people you felt safe with and respected in that manner to be able to do that spell safely.
Mhm.
So the other thing that I would say, guys, is like I I am good. I know a lot of people who are naughty. I'm not sure if you're naughty or not, but I am good, I might add. I write down everything. I
I
write
am
down
naughty. I
I
am
knew
naughty when
you
it
were
comes
naughty.
so naughty.
Guys, guys, discipline yourself like from the get-go. Write down your spells, write down your findings, like I have a book of shadows, like, and it's like a form of journaling, and I'm not a journal kind of girl. I'm actually dyslexic. So the fact that I'm doing this and taking the time is pretty cool, but I do not regret looking back at like my first findings and being so curious. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Like I had so much more to learn. But then there's also times that I look at it from the beginning and I thought, what a great question. Why don't I go back to that and revisit that? Or what a cool spell? So have your intentions, write down what you want, and then also like continue to write while you're doing this spell. Um, so Cam, start doing it.
Um, I work with uh, except for like the big spell that I just did, the cord cutting one, I look at everything that I have around me and I'm like, I need this for this spell and I need this. It works for me it's just intuition. So I know I should
Hmm.
be writing it down. However, even if like in 3 months I want to do the same spell, my intuition will not say the same thing as what I wrote down because at that point I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like I want this color of candle as an example this time. I want this
Right.
color and I want this. So for me, writing it down is kind of, I'm never going to go back to it because I work with the intention and the intuition behind it. That's me. I know we're very different when it comes to that.
Well, okay. I diverse. I Mine's intuitive too, but I still will write down like it doesn't even just mean spells, it means like any
I
findings,
know you
like
do.
anything that I've learned.
Yeah.
Like I had like, you know what I mean? But I think you should write. You are a writer, and I think that you should start. I'm I am sending fire your way. I dare
Mm.
you. I dare you to start
Okay.
a book of
No,
shadows.
you're right. You're right. No, it's because everything
I'm
is always in my
right.
brain. My memory is so good that everything is just stuck up there all the time. But I should
You should
probably write
stuck
it
up
down because
there
as soon as I write it down, I forget. That's why I don't write it down because I don't want to
Oh,
forget. It's weird. Yeah.
because the page now. You're a spiritual librarian. You should be writing. You could be writing books.
It's all in my head, though. My little library's in my head. Anyways.
Okay, fine.
Okay. I digress. Let's go. Let's finish your spell. Let's go.
Um, So other things that I would use are like crystals. So I picked amethyst, clear quartz, and also black tourmaline. All of these are great for
Yeah.
doing a spell. And then for different herbs that you can dress the candle in. So you have that oil on, you've already inscribed things. You could also use runes as well. I'm not going to say the runes names because I can't remember how to say them. How do you say them, Cam? I don't want to butcher
I
that.
can say them.
You're the
I can
rune
say them.
girl.
I know, but can you show them to me? Because I need to see the runes that you picked.
Okay. Okay. Algiz.
No, I need to see it. I'm a looker. You can't just sorry. Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
Mm-hmm.
So Algiz, which is the protection room. Then there's Thurisas, and then there's Iwas. I love Iwas. It's one of my
Right.
favorite
He was.
ones. Yeah.
Why is it one of your favorites, Cam?
I don't know. It always comes up in my rune readings, whether it's for me myself or it's for someone else.
True.
It's just such one that I put on everything. Why I love it so much.
Interesting. And Iwas is actually like transformation, deep rooted protection.
Mm-hmm.
The Thuras, it's the
Thurisas.
it's Theresa's.
Yeah,
Theresa's, put that one in. So Theresa's, it's the rune of boundaries and strength. And Algaes, what was
sure.
that one again?
It's fine. No one's gonna make
No,
fun of you.
no,
I
I
don't even
don't
think
want
it's
to
a
say it wrong.
alges.
Okay,
So you had
Alges.
it. Yeah. You're too hard on yourself.
Rune. I don't want to say it wrong, guys. I'm not a rune girl, but I do put runes on my candles, but I will read them. That is the rune of protection and divine shielding. And its meaning actually is Alk, defense and divine protection and guardianship, which I think is really cool. Okay, so now we're gonna light our candle. You've inscribed it, you've put the oil, you have all your herbs that you've dressed the candle in and rolled the candle in. Make sure you wash your hands before you light the candle after you've been working with oil. Safety tip, very important. Um, and some of the herbs that you could use is like rosemary. It's great for remembrance and protection. Lavender, once again, it's that safety. Marigold, which is a really cute and kind of bright and sunny and fiery plant. It's great for healing properties and warding off negativity and attracting positive energy, which is great in a protection spell. You want to bring in the positive energy. And then yarrow, which is one of my favorite, like herbs, and it has beautiful folklore. I would love to tell you guys about the folklore one day, but it's great for protection and courage because it takes a lot of courage to do a spell,
It does, yeah.
and intuition and protection. So we've washed our hands, we've lit our candle, and this is where the fun begins. And this is where I like to have my book. I want you to watch the flame. Do not leave your flame when you are doing a spell. I personally think it's kind of like disrespectful, but also that's where the magic happens. Like you
Yeah.
have to watch the flame. You know what I mean? So for an example, with the flame, if it's strong and steady, this is a great sign. Okay. It often means that your energy and intuition are aligned and the spell is flowing smoothly. But then there's
Yeah.
also a dancing or a flickering flame. This tends to happen a lot in my spells, I find. I find it dances or it grows really, really big. Or
Yes.
sometimes it's dancing. What have you experienced?
Well, the last one was very intense. You saw my video that I sent you for my cord
Mhm.
cutting. My flame was wild. It was wild. And then I got
Yeah,
snuffed
it
out.
was.
It was just like it was so crazy, and I just couldn't believe it. I just, like, went to bed that night exhausted from that spell, you know?
Yeah, you can get an
Yeah,
energetic drain, guys, and that's okay. Drink lots of water, eat some
yeah.
food. Make sure that you also are in a good emotional state. Like, you don't want to have anxiety before you do a spell.
No,
You don't want to be exhausted. You want to be like bright and like,
sober.
ready for it. Yeah, and sober. Well, some people might want to like not be, and that's
You know,
also okay. No
glass
judgment
of
there.
wine, you know?
Yeah, or maybe someone's stoned, and that's okay too. Um, so a dancing or a flickering flame, it means that the flame is moving around a lot. It might mean that there's lots of energy or even some resistance around your intention. And it can be a sign that you might need to focus your energy a little bit more or that there's a lot of dynamic energy at play. So you might need to like, if you decided to light the candle and you had like a certain kind of poem you wanted to either write or read or, certain things you wanted to say out loud, um, you might have to move the words a little, or maybe what it is that you're asking needs a little more clarification, you know?
Yeah,
And this happens to me a lot. I'm always having to like be like, oh, do I have to say this or what is it exactly that I need to refine and say? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, like it's all a learning curve. I always learn so much after I do a spell, you know?
But you learn about
Um,
yourself too and what you need at the time. So sometimes you might do a spell and the spell doesn't work and you're like, what did I do wrong? And it's just maybe not what you needed at the time, you know?
yeah, yeah, totally. A low or weak flame, it means that there might be obstacles or that your intention may need to be more clear, which I thought was really interesting. This has happened to me before. If the candle won't light, this happened to me recently, and I actually had done a return to sender spell, which I'd never ever done before, and it was such a beautiful spell. It was a beautiful spell, and I was really nervous about doing it, but like it was a 3-day thing
Yeah.
and the candle would not light. And I put so much intention and so much energy into the spell. And I was like, why won't it light? And it turned out it didn't want that candle. It didn't like that candle. And I ended up using actually a molded, beautiful apple candle and it lit like crazy. And it was beautiful. And, so if your candle doesn't light, it means something. So don't
Yep.
be upset. Don't get stressed out. It's okay.
Take
It's
a
all
breath.
right.
Take a
Take a breath. It could also mean that something isn't safe. It could also mean that like you left the oil by the candle and it's like, I'm not lighting until you move that, you just take a look around, take a few deep breaths and say thank you. Also, there could be crackling or popping sounds with the candle
mm,
flame. This could be a sign that there is communication from a spiritual level, that a loved one is trying to get a hold of you or your guardian angels or your ancestors or even, someone who passed that might be in the home. You don't know,
you
which
don't
is
know.
kind of cool. Um, Sorry, I'm a little spooky. I like to go there. Or there could be an uneven burning with the wax. So, like maybe one side's really burned
Yep.
and dripping and goozing, and then the other side is looking great. And you're like, what's that all about? And that could mean that there's an imbalance within what you're asking or that is already happening. Cam, you're laughing. What does that mean? Tell me your story, girlfriend.
That's what happened with my cord cutting spell is literally the candle cut in half. One side was just like melting completely and
Oh
the
my
other side was just
gosh.
going and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is such a." It was so intense. Like if anybody's interested, maybe I'll post it on our social platforms because
You
recorded it
should.
and I sped it up. I sped it up so that it doesn't because it's a long spell. So I sped it up, but it was very intense. It's very intense.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's really cool actually. I find that I take pictures, but I haven't really recorded too much, but I do take pictures and I like sharing them with people because it's nice to have
Hmm.
their opinion because sometimes I can't see. the same things that someone else might see. Like my husband will come down and be like, "Oh, that means this." And I'm like, "Oh, you're right. That is what it means." Or you know what I mean? Like other people
Yeah.
seeing things are it's that gray, you know? It's like the yeah,
But it's
hidden in
it's
plain sight.
it's it's magic. It's open to interpretation. That's what's so great about it, is we don't
Agreed.
have a set book. We can interpret it the way that you need at the time as well, and how other people see it, which is so good, I think. It just, I don't
I
know, it's
agree.
just so positive. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Something that I'm learning and I'm actually not great at, is wax reading.
No, me neither. I'm terrible at
But
that.
it's something you know what though? Since we're like fire girls, I think we should, um, like learn a little more. I have a little thing about it and I want to share it with you because I was doing some research and, so wax reading. Okay, guys. And like also, I would show other people your wax too and not tell them what you see. That you know what I mean? Like, what
Yeah.
would you say, Cam?
Well, the candles, the problem is too, is the candles that I use, they don't do a wax melt. They just kind of like burn so evenly and the wax evaporates. So I haven't really gotten a chance. Like, yeah, the candles that you and I make when we visit,
Yeah, with
and we're making
beeswax.
it from with beeswax, absolutely. It melts, it does something, it does a but the candles that I use within my witchcraft does not melt that way.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
very
Mhm.
interesting. Okay, I gotta share some candles with you then. Show you some things because I got ones that do drip actually.
Yeah.
So a wax so you want to look for shapes or symbols. It could be like example, let's pretend it kind of looked like a heart. Well, then I would look up like what does the heart mean? Or maybe it looks like a fox. Okay, what does a fox mean? You know, you would look up the spiritual
Yeah.
meaning of what a fox means or an animal. Maybe it looks like a cat. Maybe it looks like a monkey and it's saying like you need to be more playful or a fox you need to be more strategic or an owl and it's like you need to be wiser or look at
Yeah.
it from like a higher point of view or something, or from a eagle's eye point of view if it's an
It
eagle.
I feel like it's kind of like a little bit like tea leaves reading, you
Tea
know?
leaf reading. Yeah.
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 I got a girl who's amazing at tea leaf reading. She's so good.
Hmm.
I
Alright.
don't have that gift.
No, me neither.
I would like to study it though. I'm going to be honest, but I think it would be coffee reading, like Turkish coffee
Mhm.
readings would be
Well, we're
cool.
such coffee
Um,
girlies, both you and I.
Oh, yeah. I love coffee and I love tea. Like I can't choose. I'm going to be honest. I start with coffee, I end with tea.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, same. Same.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Cluster and patterns. So, you know, if it's like constant, it could be like concentrated energy or areas in your life, or it could also mean that there is like some sort of resistance happening. Um, just look at like the small details essentially. And then what direction is the wax in, which is interesting. So for example, if it
That is
went really
interesting.
south, you know,
Yeah.
we could at
Okay.
least do that. We could do that in a wax reading, right?
Mhm.
It's a fire element. Okay. So in my protection, I need to be more, you know, have more passion or like be more fierce or more protective and work with Mars
Yeah.
energy, the planet of war. Like, you know what I mean? Um, and if it's smooth or if it's versus like rough wax. So if it's smooth or even, it can indicate that your intentions are aligned, which is good. You want that. But if it's rough, it could suggest that maybe there's challenges and more things you need to pay attention to. Um, and then from there, when you're done, like let's pretend you would have written out certain things with the flame, or maybe even ideas, or maybe you had like ideas, or you know, felt inspired or whatever. Let's pretend it's out. You've snuffed it out, or it's just gone out, and you can obviously make some sort of sound thanking it. And you can always bury your wax. You could put it down the toilet. You could throw it in a fireplace if you have a fireplace. What do you do with your wax and your spells when you're done?
Mine disappears. It just burns all the way down to the end. So,
And what
I
do you
don't
do
really.
with like what's left?
Well, I guess there's just a little bit of the wick left, and I'll just throw that out in the garbage because it's just a little
Right.
teeny weeny bit left. It's not, I don't have a lot of wax left when I'm done my spells because I actually like, I
Right.
usually start spells at this time, which is like 7:30 at night. And by the time I go to bed,
Mm,
the whole candle is finished. So I don't have to relight it later on or another day or anything like that. I always kind of time my spells so I can light the whole candle all the way through.
smart. I mean, that's the right choice. And if you guys need to stop at one point with your spell, it's okay. You just like, you can stop it and then go back. But just make sure that you explain to the spell what's happening and like do that sound of some sort or whatever. What time you said that you like to do your spells late at nighttime?
I'm a nighttime person.
Oh,
Yeah, because I don't know if it's because I've worked in bars most of my life, that this is when I
right.
wake up, you know? So I don't do anything in the morning. I'm usually in the daytime when the sun's out. I'm like, no, I like to do spells when it's dark outside. That's when I
Wow,
feel the most
interesting.
powerful. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I work with
Oh,
the
that's
moon a
so
lot, so
cool.
that might be why, you know?
Mm.
Maybe.
No, that makes sense. I can see why you would be doing spells at dark. That makes sense for you.
Always, yeah.
I like to, it depends on what kind of spell I'm doing. I really love doing spells like early in the morning when it's like kind
I
of
know,
still
but you're an
dark.
early riser where I'm like, "Oh, let me
Yeah,
sleep."
I'm gross. I'm gross. I'm like in bed by 9:30. I'm asleep at that time. Like it's already past my bedtime, right? It's like my bedtime in an hour and a half right now.
Okay. So maybe we should just start winding down.
Yeah.
But you can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook at Two Cackling Witches. You can email us at twocacklingwitches@gmail.com. Jenica also has her own business where she's going to introduce her business a little bit here and let you know, and she will let you know where you can find her if you are requesting her services for that.
Okay, so my business is called Enter the Gray. I don't know my handle because I'm on my phone, so I can't look at it.
It's Enter the Gray.
Yeah, it's Enter the Gray. I think it's like enter underscore the gray.
Yeah.
And it also says Jenica, and it's a picture of me. And I do a lot of card readings. I'm a psychic medium and a death doula. I specialize in speaking to loved ones who have passed. They usually come through for readings. So if you want to book a session, just DM me.
Yes, exactly. She's really good. Honestly, guys, she's really, really good. Every time she gives me a reading, it's
Thank
always
you.
one of, yeah, but it's always one of the, either one of my family that's passed or my ancestors that comes through to talk to you. So I really do recommend
Mm.
her. She's really, really great. And it is her handle on Instagram is enter underscore the underscore gray. And gray is
Thank you, babe.
GREY, not
EY. Oh, you're
EY,
so
not
good. She
AY.
thinks
Yeah.
my spiritual librarian. She knows where it's at.
Just because I think I have an eidetic memory. I just have like, I remember everything, which sometimes is really exhausting. That's all I have to say about
You
that.
do actually remember everything. That's
I
very like
know.
elephant energy. I like that. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. And we look forward to seeing you guys again.
Thank you. Have a great day, evening, weekend. Bye.
Free audio post production by alphonic.com.